three. It's now time for the Four Coaches Corner, and joining me is Rick Carlisle. And Coach, you said before the game rebounding was going to be a key issue. Did you guys do a good job on the boards?
Well, I haven't seen the totals, but I know they got a couple of second chance opportunities. Their length is going to be a challenge for anybody that plays them. We got to make sure we're checking out first and then going and getting the ball.
I know that Jason Kidd told me before the game that you guys wanted to be opportunistic in your transition. Would you like the game to be forced a little more, pushing the ball up the floor?
Well, make or miss, we got to get it in and we got to run. And we've got to push tempo as much as we can. If their defense gets set, they're very, very difficult to score against.
Thanks, Coach.
Second quarter underway, and that was last touched by Dallas. So Matt Barnes will throw it in.
Our Lakers bring Andrew Bynum back into the game. He was 0 for 2 in that first quarter, and other than the one post-up that he had against Chandler, LA really didn't look to go into him, and I think that's probably something Phil Jackson talked about at the quarter. I think they've got to go inside to Bynum and try to establish his postgame.
Bynum goes inside for Odom. So Andrew Bynum, who had a very strong opening round series against New Orleans, has not done it in the scoring column, but another nice pass from Bynum. Nowitzki over Odom. Quick release by Dirk Nowitzki. He's 4 of 5 for 8 points.
Quick release, 7 feet tall, and the release is from behind his head. So even if you're Lamar Odom and you're 6'10" with long arms, you still can't challenge that shot.
Barnes, Bynum, and Odom on the front line. Brown and Blake in the backcourt. That is waved off, will not count. It's a 3-second violation on the Lakers.
We'll take a look at the post up from Odom. Marion was trying to front him, and the great recognition from Bynum. I'm so impressed with Bynum's passing skills. Between he and Gasol, I mean, this team has such great interior passing. How about Memphis with the Grizzlies with Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph? Another great tandem in terms of passing the ball in the post.
Jason Terry making it 3 of 3 from the field, and Dallas turning it up with a 29-25 lead. Marv Albert, Steve Kerr, Cheryl Miller. But Staples in LA. Bad pass recovered by Brown. Got a lucky bounce there.
Sure did. Marion had read the play, made the steal, but tried to flick the ball back to a teammate. And Brown takes advantage of the mistake.
Barea saved by Terry. Terry able to elude Blake. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Barea for 3. Yes. J.J. Barea from downtown. The Mavericks now lead at 32-27.
And they're gaining confidence as this game goes on, Marv. They've got the Laker defense spread out now.
Won't count. Offensive foul on Matt Barnes.
Looked like Barnes had a layup. He goes back to the right hand here with the ball and pushes off with the left arm. Not a lot of contact, but when the officials see that action right there, that's a good call because he had Dirk's left arm and shielded it, and you can't do that. Great call by the official.
They double up on Marion, and it paid off. Off the trap. That pass thrown away.
Just the third turnover for Dallas with 11 assists on 14 field goals. So their offensive execution, which really is their strength as a team, it's been really solid here so far despite that turnover there.
Brown getting in the lane. Another Laker turnover. Good ball movement here by the Lakers, and now they stop as Barea looks to set up. Marion. Terry is open in the corner. Back comes Shannon Brown. Beautiful crossover. Scores going right at the 7-footer Brendan Haywood.
Lakers not a great transition team. In fact, they're at the bottom of the league in terms of fast break points. But once Brown gets going in the open court, he's explosive.
They clear it out for Nowitzki. Oh, that's a difficult shot.
Sure is.
Twisting his way.
Off the wrong foot, fading away, and it still looked like it was going in.
4 minutes gone by in the second. Odom rejected by Haywood, so the Lakers will put it in play with 7 on the 24. First, a timeout.
Now, it's been a fluid game offensively. Lakers with a few turnovers here lately, but for the most part, pretty clean game for both sides. Brown there taking it length to.
Studded, Justin Timberlake, Will Ferrell, and John C. Riley. January Jones from Mad Men. And yes, Jack.
Of course. Always have to finish with Jack.
He's our closer.
Yeah, that's right.
7 on the shot clock for the Lakers. Nice touch pass, Gasol to Bynum.
That was fantastic. What a pass from Gasol and that Laker big man tandem working together. Beautiful execution on that out of bounds play.
Bynum with his first field goal. It's a 1-point lead for Dallas. They double up on Terry. Good help there from Gasol. Haywood. Crowd wanted a traveling violation.
I'll tell you what, Haywood has given this team some good minutes. He was given that big extension in the offseason before Dallas had traded for Tyson Chandler. The Mavs expected Haywood to be their starting center, but he hasn't played much this year. It's been a subpar season, but as a backup center, as long as you don't mind paying him $11 million a year, he's effective.
Out of favor for a period during the season.
Yeah, and struggled with that backup role. Look at this pass from Gasol, just beautiful execution. And here's the pick, and then the switch, and Dirk gets knocked off balance, and that's why Bynum is open. But yeah, to get back to Haywood, you know, his relegation to the second unit was tough for him. Brown misses, but what he's given this team is a second rim-protecting 7-footer defensively. So Dallas in good shape at that end of the floor.
Oh, what a move by Barea, and then he's stripped. He was able to slash his way through. Bynum working on Haywood. Dewey had to get rid of the basketball. Would have been a 3-second violation. Here comes Terry, putting a move on Barnes and a foul. Jason Terry and Matt Barnes, well acquainted from an incident.
Yes, they are.
They had Matt Barnes involved in somewhat of a disagreement with the Mavericks in the Lakers' last regular season meeting, and ended up being ejected and suspended for a game. Jason Terry was involved in it as Barnes stepped in with Steve Blake and Terry going at each other. Barnes ended up pushing assistant coach Terry Stotts to try to break things up. As we take a look at the series schedule, game 2 here Wednesday in LA, and we'll have it for you on TNT Friday at Dallas, and then Sunday at Dallas. Those games on ESPN and ABC. Mavs with their first free throws in the game.
And that's not uncommon when you play the Lakers. They're among the best in the league. In fact, they're #1 in the league in fewest fouls. Another great feed from Gasol. And Marv, that's going to be a challenge for Dallas throughout this series, trying to find easy points. They'll get some in transition, but getting to the free throw line, very difficult against this Laker defense.
So Rick Carlisle calls for time. 6:15 left in this first half. Mavericks now have a 3-point lead. You're watching the NBA playoffs on TNT. Dallas and LA as Jason Terry shoves Steve Blake to the ground. He did not like that. They're pushing and shoving. Matt Barnes and Steve Blake and the Mavs, Jason Terry, Brendan Haywood, all ejected from the game. Then there's Barnes. Did not like that assistant coach Terry Stotts had grabbed him. Stotts went down, led to Barnes being ejected. You know, back in the first round of the playoffs between the Lakers and the Hornets, Monty Williams complaining that the Lakers were too physical. Phil Jackson kind of pleased that they were called physical, because they've been called at times during the season soft or questioned. As Nowitzki is fouled.
Similar to yesterday, Miami was very physical with Boston. Doc Rivers complained afterwards about some of the cheap shots. I think it was kind of the same dynamic. Miami was probably thrilled to be called dirty. Over the years, that's been, you know, Boston has been the team that's supposed to be the aggressor. But the interesting thing after that incident, was Barnes was very vocal, and he talked about Dirk Nowitzki. He called him out. He said, you know, in 2007, when I was with the Warriors, we gave the blueprint on how to guard Dirk. He said, you got to punk him. And I don't know if that's quite going to work. I think Dirk has gotten better the last couple of years in terms of, you know, dealing with that physical defense. He's figured out ways to get to the foul line and get back to the basket game as well.
Strong move by Lamar Odom. Matt Barnes on that Golden State team, coached by Don Nelson after he had left Dallas, and they came up with that playoff upset over the Mavs.
They had a physical team. You know, they had, when they would switch, you know, they would have with guards, they'd have Baron Davis guarding Dirk, so they really got underneath Dirk. But I think he adjusted and made a lot of strides since that series.
3-point Maverick lead. Kobe Bryant back on the floor. Front line of Gasol with Artest and Odom, Bryant and Fisher in the backcourt. Here is Gasol. Blocked. Nice play by Chandler. Able to reach around for the rejection.
Fantastic defense from Chandler. That's what he's there for.
Nowitzki rimming out, and Fisher with the save. Just under 5 remaining first half. Game 1 of this best of 7 Western Conference semifinal series. The fadeaway by Bryant.
Wow. Most impressive part of that move, Marv, was how he got to that spot on the floor in the first place. Just his ball handling skills, amazing.
12 points for Kobe Bryant. Nowitzki getting inside. He thought it was fouled, no call.
And that's why it's so difficult to score on LA in the paint. The length of Gasol forcing that tough shot from Nowitzki.
Artest. Nowitzki with the rebound. Terry trying to get it to Nowitzki. Here's Fisher. And he thought he was hit. Terry with Bryant back. Jason Terry has had the touch. 4 of 5 for the field. He's the high point man for the Mavericks with 11. And Phil Jackson wants to talk.
Well, another nice play from Chandler. He didn't get the shot block, but he forced the miss that led to that fast break hoop for Jason Terry. But at the other end, look at the work, the hesitation, the footwork through the legs, and then up and over the top of the 7-foot Chandler. That's incredible.
When you see these war veterans come back, some of them are wounded, seeing them and seeing what they did for our country and being able to go over and touch them and see the joy and the excitement that they get, that right there, it touches you, you know, because they don't have to do it. It was their choice to serve our country. We're forever indebted to them, and we thank them.
Jason Terry off to a fast start tonight, 4 of 5, 11 points. Had a huge game 6 in the finale against the Trailblazers. Bryant over Kidd and rebounded by Chandler. Rick Carlisle telling us that we'll see Jason Kidd defending on Kobe Bryant from time to time. In the past, he's done a pretty good job against Bryant.
Well, he has to guard him because Jason Terry needs to be on the floor for Dallas. His Kidd can't make the 3, but if Kidd and Terry are going to play in the backcourt, One of them has to guard Bryant, and it has to be Jason Kidd. He can match up physically. Terry just too small for Kobe.
Here's Bryant going right at Kidd, has to pop it out. They swing it. Bryant, rebounded by Gasol.
Now there's the second chance we talked about, and that's a 10-2 advantage now for the Lakers in that department. And that's the reason the Lakers are who they are. The size, the length, they get extra possessions.
Dallas up by 1. Shot clock down to 5. Terry eluding Fisher.
You just can't lose him. You know, you've got to make somebody else make a shot, and of course, if you're Dallas, you've got Peja on the floor, but you can't rotate that far off Jason Terry. So the Lakers trying to pick their poison here.
Gasol setting the pick. Kidd able to stay with Bryant. Odom wheeling inside and hits. Nice bank hook shot by Lamar Odom. And a timeout is taken by Dallas.
Now, Rick Carlisle gave Dirk Nowitzki a little breather there for a couple of minutes, but he wants to get him on the floor for these last 2 minutes, and that's why he called the 22nd timeout. Shot. Dallas runs a pick and roll with Chandler, and Derek Fisher cheats in to help on the rolling Chandler. And Jason Kidd with a beautiful cross-court pass. Fisher with too much room to make up. Fisher has to stunt just a little bit, but trust that a teammate will handle Chandler inside.
And Nowitzki is back on the floor. Again, the good ball movement. 3 on the shot clock, Nowitzki. And here come the Lakers. Fisher putting moves on Terry. Yes, and the foul. And that's a rare foul. It's been a quick-moving first half. Only the 7th foul combined on the Lakers and the Mavs.
Well, this is kind of a step in the time machine for Derek Fisher. He used to do more of this as a younger player, but he takes advantage of that opening in transition and knocks down a shot. And as usual, Marvin, Fisher playing above and beyond what he was in the regular season here in the playoffs.
And words between Tyson Chandler, and it appears Paul Gasol, Bob Delaney getting between the two, and it appears a double technical has been called. Bob Delaney, who has announced that he's retiring at the end of the season, 25 years as an official. Here's another look off this rainbow free throw. I thought I was going to hit the ceiling here at the Staples. There it is, starting right there between Chandler and Gasol.
Well, and then there were words back and forth, and obviously the double technical doesn't mean anything point-wise, but what it does mean is that both players have to be very careful the rest of the game. They don't want to end up like Paul Pierce yesterday in the Boston game. You pick up a second one and you get ejected, of course.
Chandler and Gasol hit with the technicals, coming up on a minute to play in this first half, and a foul is called.
Well, the league has been really vigilant about this all season. If there's any kind of chattering between two players, it's pretty much an automatic double technical.
Foul at the other end on Kidd. So that puts Bryant at the line with Dallas over the limit. Right here, let's send it to our Atlanta studios. Matt Weiner. Matt. All right, Matt, how about Joe Johnson of the Hawks? 34 points, 5 of 5 from beyond the three-point line.
Yeah, he was phenomenal. And for Chicago, wow, tough loss. Derrick Rose goes down with that ankle injury on a meaningless last-second play. So immediately the Hawks throwing the first blow in that series.
7-0 run by the Lakers. Marion And the outside official, Bob Delaney, with the call. Game 1 has seen some surprises throughout the playoffs. The call is on Tyson Chandler. A loose ball foul. And with the Mavs over the limit once again, Lakers to the line.
And what's significant here is that the Spurs and the Magic lost those series. So game 1, and Phil Jackson talked about this week, Marv, game 1 really sets the tone in every series. You're kind of getting a feel for your opponent, but you want to throw that first blow. You want to establish what you're trying to do. I don't think either team has really done so here so far. But game 1 sets the tone. You want to get that victory, get off to a good start. And I don't know what the percentage is. You know, we always talk about percentages of, you know, winning the series when you win the first game. It's pretty significant.
You think so? Why? I mean, it's a percentage.
It's like 70% though, right? I mean,
still, that doesn't mean in the next particular game or in that series, a team would not come back, say 30% of the time.
Okay, but it's still 70%. I mean, I don't know why, but it's just the way it is.
But a coach will throw that away, obviously.
Well, yeah, especially if you're on the losing end of it. Yeah.
Artest saving that pass, and then flips it out to Fisher. Here's Derek again on the drive. The Lakers have taken a 7-point lead. Dallas will hold for a final possession. And the Lakers had a foul to give.
Derek Fisher with 8 points already. And that's pretty significant because when he scores, the Lakers tend to win. When he's been in double figures this year, they're 18-1. And usually that's because teams are double teaming the big man and he's getting open looks on the outside. But you don't expect him to get all the way to the rim twice like we've seen in the last couple minutes.
Out of 5 seconds. Nowitzki battling to get inside. He had missed his previous 5 shots after opening 4 of 5. Here is Odom. Oh, a foul is called on Jason Terry, and it's in the act. It'll be 3 free throws for Lamar Odom.
Wow, that's an incredible call, a gutsy call from Bob Delaney. I believe they're going to go look at the replay to see when the foul was called, because if it was after the buzzer, then obviously it won't count. Let's take a look. Jason Terry's just too close right here. There's no reason to be anywhere near Odom, and then he reaches in, and I think he got him. I think that's a good call. It's a better angle here. No question. Jason Terry fouls him 70 feet from the hoop.
Yeah. Oh, there's no question that it will be called a foul. You can't make a judgment on a video replay in terms of the foul, but as you say, they're looking at the clock.
Yeah.
Now you want the defender to play the opposing player close, but not that close.
No. And you definitely don't want to reach in. I mean, that's ridiculous. Jason Terry knows better than that. He's a smart player. He's a veteran player, but sometimes in the playoffs, you're so pumped up. You know, you just want to be extra aggressive. But that was a major mental error from Jason Terry.
Lamar Odom, 68% free throw shooter during the season.
And the officials will determine that the foul did happen before the clock ran out. Now what they're going to do is figure out how much time to put back on the clock as these free throws are taken. And all Terry had to do was just back up. He was in perfect position. That's, you know, what are the chances of Odom making that shot? I mean,
and they're putting 3/10 of a second back. Looked like it was 3/10. Right now they have 7/10. Well, they made it 0.7. So Odom to the line, and he will have 3 free throws.
Jason Terry talking to Bob Delaney now, and there's really nothing to complain about. I mean, I think Jason is more embarrassed than anything.
And I started to mention before Bob Delaney retiring at the end of the season. There's Bob, over the years one of the NBA's premier officials. Tonight is 150th playoff game. He's been in 10 NBA Finals, 2 All-Star games, one-time New Jersey State Trooper with a storied background that he captured in a recent autobiography.
He's lived an interesting life, hasn't he? And a terrific official. He's been doing this at a high level for a long time.
So Odom, oh, technical foul. Technical foul call.
Is it on Chandler or is it on Dirk?
Well, if it's on Chandler, he's out because he had one earlier in that double tech. Let's see. Might be Dirk.
I think it was on Dirk, Mark.
Now they're saying Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, how about this close to the quarter for the Mavericks? I mean, Odom's getting ready to just throw up a meaningless 70-foot shot. He gets fouled, and Dirk swung the elbow on Artest. That's why the technical. So you get 3 free throws from Odom, 1 from Kobe, and all of a sudden it's a 9-point lead for the Lakers. Just a horrible end to this quarter for the Mavericks.
0.6 of a second remaining in the half. The Lakers in the midst of a 14-2 run and have their biggest lead of the night. A bizarre finish to this first half. 14-2 spurt over the last 2 minutes of play. Halftime at Staples. It's the Lakers 53, the Mavericks 44. After a quick break, we'll send it to Atlanta for the T-Mobile halftime report with Matt Wider, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley, and Chris Webber.